in person. I can touch them, right, to talk to you guys about this product here, because it's a very, like I said before, it's like a necessary option that you need to have for your motorcycle. It's up to you guys, but I've rode with it and it works. It works really, really well. So anyhow, yeah. JJ, take it away, brother.
And you are the perfect testament to that. You got a big motor, you got a turbo.
Yep.
All of that, the more power you create, the more heat you create.
Yeah.
And the more important it is to cool it down. And because you can go from cruising at a good temperature to dangerously hot temperatures that will destroy all that money you put into that motor.
That's true.
Real quick.
Yeah.
And there is nothing on the market right now that can cool a product the way ours does. What I tell people, and when I'm telling all these, you know, Sturgis Raleigh customers and just people out here enjoying themselves, is our product will literally make a V-twin, a Harley Davidson, function like a fully water-cooled engine. And that sounds like a crazy statement, you know what I mean? If I said that a few years ago, people would think you were insane. There's no way that my Harley, my hot-running, air-cooled Harley is going to do that, and it really does. So the way it works is when the ideal oil temperature is around 200 degrees.
Yeah.
That still seems hot, it is, but your oil can real quickly go to 300 degrees. And I don't care what brand it is, every brand says they have the greatest oil that can handle the highest temperatures. At 300 degrees, every oil will burn up, it will heat flash.
Yeah.
You could be brand new oil that you just spent your 50 bucks on or whatever, it will ruin that oil. The problem is, and a lot of the damage that is done that riders don't realize, is you can change your oil, go out on a 100-mile ride, get stuck in some bad traffic, overheat the bike, and burn up the oil. And when it happens, it loses its viscosity and its lubrication qualities. It's no longer functioning the way it's supposed to.
Right.
And guys will not realize that, and they keep riding on that same oil that's been burned up and not working, and doing a lot of premature wear on these motors. These are great motors. They will last if you can keep them cool and keep them lubricated. So the way our system works, when the oil gets to 210 degrees, it starts getting a little hotter than we want it. This temperature switch is going to kick on these fans, and we've got it here. It'll get loud. 220 CFM.
Right here, and then
I'm almost sticking it to that.
look at that.
Okay. They're in the back. They're two fans pulling the air through. The interesting thing that surprised us, even in testing, you would think, so a lot of the bagger racing guys are using our oil coolers. You would think when you're doing 100 miles an hour of air hitting the heat exchanger, that the fans running wouldn't make a bit of difference. These fans are so powerful that even at 100 miles an hour, when they kick on, it drops the temperature tremendously more than just 100 miles an hour hitting it. Now it's probably a combination of the air hitting it and the fans pulling it through, but it honestly works. And so the way the bagger racing guys do, we set these coolers up for them specially. We don't even put a temperature switch in. We bypass it. When they start the bike, the fans run the entire race. Now the other element that is really critical, especially for racing, now even the factory Harley Davidson Screamin Eagle race team is running our flow oil filters. This is a technology that I didn't invent. NASA literally developed this technology. This is a stainless steel internal element. Now it's an oil cooler. We've got cooling fins on it. Now this alone will drop your oil 10 degrees, which back in the day, oil coolers have been around forever. So your dad, your grandpa's oil cooler on their bike would drop the oil about 10 degrees if they were on the highway hitting air. This little oil filter alone will do that. You're gonna get 50 degrees with the oil cooler, 60 total combined. That is a lot to cool oil. You think about frying pan oil, how long you shut that heat off. It takes forever for that oil to cool. Oil is not easy to cool, and that is a tremendous amount to do it.
Now let me ask you this real quick, JJ. How does this apply to the person that's not racing, right? Just the everyday rider.
The biggest issue on the oil filters is bypass, and the problem with bypassing on a paper element, when I say bypass, oil filters have a safety device. So if the oil has trouble pushing through the filter, the little bypass valve will open up because dirty oil is better than no oil. You do not want to starve your engine for oil. But the reality is that almost every Harley rider does not realize when he first fires his bike up, that oil is cold and thick. It has a hard time pushing through a paper element. It's going into bypass just for a minute or two until that oil warms up and thins out, but it's in bypass. You got zero filtration, and then I'll talk about the worst side of that in a minute. But the other time that happens, you're screaming 80, 90 plus down the highway at a high RPM, anything more than about 3,500 RPM, and you're in bypass. That paper element cannot flow that thick oil fast enough, and it's gonna push open the bypass. The big design difference between this technology, it's a stainless steel screen, so it's reusable. Economically, it makes sense. You're gonna pay about 140 bucks for this filter, but it will pay for itself because you clean it and reuse it for life. Now, the big difference, when you look down the center of this paper element, there is no post with holes. A normal oil filter has a metal post with holes, and then they wrap the paper or a K&N fiber, etc., around it. The only area moving oil through a traditional filter is where the holes are in the post, which is a small percentage of it. Because this stainless steel screen is strong enough to support itself, there is no post down the center, and therefore the entire surface area flows oil. We're able to get 7 times more oil through the same size filter. Why is that important? Because even the factory Harley Davidson race team, the engineers have told me this now that they're running it, 7,000 RPM, our filter is still not going into bypass. It's still trapping all the contaminants that were causing engine problems for that race team. And we are honored. I mean, you can imagine, we're all Harley enthusiasts. We love Harley Davidson. How cool is it that Harley Davidson Motor Company is running the oil filter that I designed and produced? I mean, I'm on top of the world right now.
Let's show them the picture real quick that you have over here.
Let's show it. Yeah. So this is Kyle Wyman racing at Laguna Seca, winning with our flow oil filter. This is a close-up shot of it here, and it's got a pre-drilled wrench nut on there. I'll pull that out so you can show it.
Yeah. So it's right here. Let me see. Oh yeah, right here. You can see it right here. So this is the safety. Sorry, that's a safety wire right here.
Yep, which is required at racetracks.
Right. So if you ever need that, it's there. But if you don't need it, you have it anyways.
Yeah. So what the race team was doing initially was they were using a traditional Harley Davidson oil filter. They were, because they have to safety wire it, they were putting a hose clamp around their oil filter and then running safety wire around it. That's pretty hokey for a factory Harley Davidson race bike. This is a much cleaner setup. This filter was designed for performance, for racing purposes. It's an honor that they're running it. You should run it too, because bypass is happening more than you realize. And when it bypasses, you got zero filtration. But what's worse is when it opens, it can wash contaminants that your filter is already trapped off and run it back through your motor. That could be a chunk of metal. D&D exhaust over there, loving it. It could be a chunk of metal. It could be crankcase sealant, like in the race bikes, they're rebuilding those motor a lot, and it causes a lot of problems. It plugs up oiling jets. It can cause your bike to literally overheat the pistons and blow up, like on a race. Now those are extreme conditions. So I love racing. I grew up racing dirt bikes, motocross racer. I love motorcycles, and racing is fun. I love it, but it's the best test ground. If the Harley Davidson, most extreme, riders, Kyle Wyman, Travis Ryman, running and pushing the limits of a Harley Davidson, and this filter is beneficial for them. Just imagine the benefits that it's doing, the same type of benefits. It's not as extreme, but we all go out. We don't put big bore motors on our bikes to do 55 miles an hour.
And guys, we all want to get at least a 475. Okay, everybody wants to get a 475 cam, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, or kind of like what I have. And either way, you can't miss out with this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, now, you're the first one I shared this with. We're doing a Sturgis special.
Yep.
Sturgis 23, no spaces on our website. You will get 10% off. So I know everybody out there watching this video wants to be here in Sturgis. This is a fun. This is my first time being here in Sturgis.
Awesome.
I am having so much fun. My dad and I got to spend a couple days riding the hills. This is some of the best riding I've ever experienced. And this atmosphere, this Harley Davidson, and we got Indians here. But this is a Harley Davidson brotherhood, and I love it, and it's so much fun. But even if you're not here, we're sharing that with you. You're sharing it with your subscribers and viewers. Sturgis 23 going to get you a discount, and we're happy to do that. I appreciate everything that crew has done for us. You're selling us a lot. You're educating people about our product, which is the biggest challenge. It takes a while. We've been selling these oil filters for 20 years. They're just now catching on. The Harley Davidson factory race bikes just now discovered it. It's an argument that's been going on, because you can go to a Harley dealer and they'll tell you don't run these. Well, why is your race team running them then?
That's a fair question. Fair question. But yeah, man. Yeah, so like I said, that we covered extensively on that, because we believe that that's probably one of the things that's most common, more accessible, and stuff like that. But before we end the video, JJ, just let them know, do you have stock available?
We do. We are getting, if you've got a Milwaukee 8 with a chopped engine guard, we are getting really low. Thanks to 2147 crew. But we are in production on more heat exchangers, which is what we're getting low on. If you want to get one and you're watching this video, you're probably going to be posting it pretty soon. You better order it right now. Hopefully it's not out, but we won't be out very long. You know, this is made in America product, and so we'll have it quickly.
Awesome, man. Well, again, thank you. Very nice meeting you in person, brother. I'll be here.
You too, buddy.
And again, everybody, I highly recommend these products. They're very accessible, but I will say, man, that get yours while you can, because as this gets traction, like anything else, and look, it's raining over here in Sturgis, they're going to be sold out and just back ordered, which you can still get them. But
we're going to definitely be sold out of what we brought here to Sturgis pretty quickly. So if you're watching this and you're wanting to get something and get it installed, get here soon, because we didn't bring enough.
Are you guys installing them?
We're having a local shop, Speeds Performance, install. It was initially supposed to happen through the dealership, but they're just too busy.
No, absolutely.
They're just too busy. So we got a shop that we've worked with for years. I didn't realize how close they were. They're 5 minutes down the road.
That's awesome.
So I've sent them a bunch of installs, and Jason over there at Speeds Performance is a great guy. He's got a great reputation for building big bores of similar. He's one of the top guys in the country, also for this part of the country particularly. And he's a good guy, and we can get it done. But even if you're not here, I posted a funny video with all the rain yesterday. But I'll tell you what, we got a little bit of rain today, maybe a little tomorrow. But the bulk of the week is looking fantastic. Low 70s with no rain. And we were going to have some. This could be one of the, even though it's raining right this second, the weather may end up being some of the best weather that we've had in decades.
Because last year it was like 95 and hot.
It's hot. It was hot when I got here. So if you're on the fence thinking about coming out, come out, because the weather is looking good. Check the forecast. I'm not BSing. It is looking good.
That's true. All right, brother. Well, that's it, man. Again, you guys got to get your own. Use Sturgis code 23. It runs to the end of August. And again,
I'm gonna extend that.
You're gonna extend that? Okay.
Yeah, because we got a couple of kits that we're redesigning, and we didn't have it. I want to take care of everybody, and I'm gonna extend it. And if for some reason, you try to use, even if you watch this video later, message us or something. We're going to help you. We're going to take care of all the subscribers of the crew. Because you guys have been so good to us, and you have particularly. I really appreciate it.
Awesome, brother.
And we're going to keep taking care of. And that's going to probably be indefinite. The racers are testing it, using it. You've got one of the most extreme, awesome builds, a turbo. Your bike's a 131.
It's a 131 built by Trask.
By Trask, and that's an awesome motor, tons of power. You got to keep it cool. So you are a tester as well, right? If our product is keeping you cool, imagine what it's going to do for your 114, your 117. Even the 107 will overheat in traffic pretty bad. It doesn't take much. But as soon as you go 114 and bigger, you really need to have our cooler. Maybe you don't always need it, but when you need it, it's there, it kicks on, it works, you won't overheat, and that's peace of mind. Because here at Sturgis, if you've been here, the traffic is extreme.
Yeah.
You will see guys shutting their bikes off, you'll see guys pushing their bikes.
Daytona, I saw in Daytona all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't want, that's no fun. We came here to have a good time.
Yeah.
With our system on there, you can putt along, just keep cruising. The fans will run. It may, at worst case scenario, hold the temperature. It won't keep climbing like it does without it.
Yeah.
And when you get out of that traffic, it will definitely shut it, bring the temperatures down, shut the fans off. But you'll have that peace of mind. I spent a lot of money on this bike. I'm not going to destroy it sitting here in traffic.
Yeah.
And that we all need that because we got a lot of
All right, guys. With that note, we'll end it, man. Again, brother, thank you very much, man.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.